Hey Grownups, Tessa Flannery here. It's February, which is a tough stretch for homeschool families. With shorter days and busy schedules, that's when motivation starts to dip. IXL helps keep learning consistent, focused, and moving forward without stress. IXL is an award-winning online learning platform that fits seamlessly into homeschooling. It offers interactive practice across math, language arts, science, and social studies from pre-K through 12th grade. We're in the mid-year stretch when kids need consistency, confidence, and flexibility. Over 15 million students use IXL, and more than 75 research studies show it delivers real results. That equals peace of mind for homeschool parents. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And Girl Tales listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/girltales. Visit IXL.com/girltales to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
Hey Tailblazers, I'm Rebecca Cunningham, and this is Girl Tales, a kids podcast packed with girl power and stories where every child's voice matters. Today is our final episode of Season 8. I cannot believe that a little dream I had back in 2017 has made it this far and has reached all of you. I am so grateful that you listen to our stories. It means so much to me. The Girl Tales team is taking a break until later on this year. If you want to stay updated on when our new episodes will be out, Grownups, you can sign up for our newsletter, and you'll find the link in our show notes. Before we get started, I'd like to send a lot of special shout-outs and a lot of birthday shout-outs that we've got to cover because we're taking a break. So first, some special shout-outs to Shay, Josie, Lola, and Nicoletta from Carlsbad, and to Scarlett and Zach in Scotland. And some birthday shout-outs. Not everybody's birthday is this week, but there will be a lot of birthdays that we're going to miss, so these are just in case. Happy birthday to Ren and Ryan, Sydney, Roxy, Eleanor, Helen, Paloma, Taryn and Bryn from Collingwood, Ontario, Nettie, Leah, Reed, Josiah on Bainbridge Island, Emily C., Audrey McGrath, Spike, Ziggy, and Rocket, Bernadette, Felicity, Cora, Sloan, and Helena. I hope all of your birthdays are awesome. Thank you to each and every one of you for listening to Girl Tales. It means so much to me. Grownups, Girl Tales is brought to you by families like yours. If you would like to hear your child's name at the top of our next episode, or if you would like me to wish them a happy birthday, head to patreon.com/girltales and join a team today. Oh, and hey, do you love Girl Tales and making your own stories at home? Well, the Girl Tales Starter Pack is made just for you. It includes a vintage book of fairy tales, a Tailblazer pencil, a Girl Tales notebook, bookmark, and sticker. Everything you need to dream up your own magical adventures. Grownups can grab one now at girltalespodcast.com/shop. Now on to our episode. This is Nura's Magical Tatreez, the final part in our Open Door series. Enjoy! I'd like to tell you about a friend of mine. Her name is Nura. Nura was born in Freshwater, but her family originally came from Palestine. Nura's grandparents moved to Freshwater back when Mayor Lucinda announced her open door policy, many years ago. You see, back then, Nura's grandparents had been forced out of their home in Palestine and lived as refugees in tents that offered little protection from stormy winters and sizzling summers. A refugee is someone who had to leave their country because it wasn't safe to live there anymore. Freshwater's open door policy gave them a chance to build a real home again. In Palestine, Nura's grandparents lived in a beautiful village called Deir Yassin. They had an orchard filled with olive, fig, and guava trees. When he wasn't working as a stonecutter, Nura's grandpa, Sido, was outside taking care of his beloved trees. He would water them and watch their branches dance with the wind and the chirping sunbirds. Nura's grandma, Teta, was known as the most skilled Tatreez dressmaker in the village. Tatreez is a special kind of embroidery in Palestine. Women and girls would wear Tatreez dresses that were bursting with fun designs like stars, moons, and the many creatures and trees of Palestine. As a matter of fact, Nura's favorite dress in the whole wide world was the one her Teta made her on her 9th birthday last year. Teta chose her favorite colors, pink and turquoise, and designed the delicate embroidery into Nura's favorite things: popcorn, popsicles, and pizza. She even embroidered in Nura's beloved Freshwater magical friends.
This dress will keep you connected to both your past and your present,
Teta told her.
Oh, Teta, thank you. I will wear this dress forever.
Nura had promised as she twirled around. When Sido and Teta arrived to Freshwater all those years ago, Sido opened Freshwater's very first shawarma restaurant. He used his stone-cutting skills to shape the best sizzling shawarma wraps in town. Pizza may be Nura's favorite food, but Sido's shawarma is a close second. Nura would sit on a stool and watch Sido wrap layers of juicy, marinated chicken or beef into the shape of an upside-down mountain around a vertical skewer that would rotate the meat round and round, like a merry-go-round, as it cooked to a smoky sizzle. Nura's taste buds did somersaults as Sido shaved off thin slices of the spiced shawarma with his knife, sprinkled the meat over a warm loaf of pita bread, and drizzled his special lemony garlicky tahini sauce. Nura would always help with the last step, sprinkling chopped tomatoes, parsley, and pickles like festive confetti, and wrapping the sandwich into a tight roll. It was all she could do not to take a bite out of every order. The tip jar next to Nura would fill up with coins as she handed out shawarma wraps to grateful customers. While Sido was busy in the kitchen, Teta established a Tatreez school, gallery, and community center where she designed, taught, and sold exquisite Tatreez art to friends and community members. Guests especially enjoyed Teta's animated storytelling.
And I told her, please read
as they
my
gathered
book.
around her, sipping sweet mint tea with a side of Teta's melt-in-your-mouth mamul cookies. But let's get back to Nura. Nura was a bright girl and a hard worker.
You must earn the highest degrees of education just like your parents,
Teta would tell her every morning at school drop-off. Nura would flash Teta a big smile. She didn't need the reminder. She loved school and knew how important it was to do well. After all, Nura's dad was Freshwater's favorite family doctor, and Nura's mom was a professor at Freshwater University. Mama and Baba were very busy, so Nura spent most of her after-school hours helping Sido at the restaurant or in the warmth of Teta's community center, cutting fabric, threading needles, and stitching her favorite Freshwater-inspired designs. Today, as Nura entered Teta's community center, she was practically bouncing up and down. She had big news.
Teta! Princess Cordelia is throwing her monthly Welcome to Freshwater picnic for new immigrant families this weekend, and she asked me to present the housewarming baskets.
Oh my, that's a big honor.
And guess what? I'm going to wear my favorite Tatreez dress for the occasion.
Teta beamed. She loved seeing Nura wear her dress. When Teta was a little girl in Palestine, she also treasured the Tatreez dress her grandma made her. Nura didn't waste time. She skipped all the way home and ran straight to her closet. She found her dress hanging in its special spot on the far right side. Nura took it out and spread it on her bed. Her heart danced along with the popping embroidered popcorn kernels. The dress was even prettier than she remembered. Suddenly, Nura scrunched her face in concentration. Was it her imagination, or did the dress look a teeny bit more snug than she remembered? It had been a few months since her birthday. Nura turned to look at her reflection in the mirror. She did look a bit taller herself. How much can a 9-year-old grow in a few months? Nura held her breath as she picked up the dress and started to slip it on.
Please let it be my size,
Nura whispered. She pulled and tugged and stretched and wiggled her arms and tried to shrink her shoulders. But no matter what she did, her arms got stuck and her head wouldn't slip in. She could not fit into her dress.
Oh no, what am I gonna wear?
Nura ran to Teta's house next door.
That's too bad, Hayati. I know you wanted to wear that dress.
Can you make me a new one? Please, please, please.
I wish I could, Habibti, but making a Tatreez dress takes me a whole month. And the picnic is only 2 days away.
Nura was heartbroken. In her bed that night, she tossed and turned as she worried about what she would do. She could wear another dress, but without her favorite colors, her beloved snacks, and Freshwater's magic along with her on stage, it wouldn't feel the same. It was the perfect dress to welcome newcomers to her town. She just knew it. The next morning was Saturday. Nura ate a quick breakfast and went out for a walk. Moving always helped her brain think better. But today, her worries grew heavier and heavier with every step. She wondered if she could outrun her worries. She took a deep breath and sprinted all the way to the forest at the edge of town. She didn't stop until she was safely perched on her secret forest swing. Nura was pretty sure no one else in Freshwater knew about it. Nura had found it last year during the annual Forest Hide-and-Seek Championship. She was the first to be found and was very disappointed, but finding the swing more than made up for it. The forest swing wasn't just secret, it was magical. When Nura sat on it, it could sense how Nura felt that day. If she was happy and excited, the swing would fly her way up high. If she was sad, it would rock her soothingly slow. All Nura had to do was open her heart. Nura wrapped her fingers around the sturdy rope and dangled her feet. She whispered words to the breeze.
I need to fit into my Tatreez dress.
The swing started to gently rock just as Nura heard heavy, crunching footsteps nearby. She wasn't startled or scared. She knew exactly who it was. Her friend and forest guardian, Sasquatch. I thought I heard you swinging. Where's your smile today? Is it playing hide and seek in the forest? Nura shook her head.
I'm trying to find a way to shrink myself 2 sizes down. Wait, you're so crafty. Do you have a DIY human shrinking recipe?
Sasquatch gave a big, hearty laugh that made the leaves around her rustle. Shrink? What for, sweet girl?
I outgrew my favorite Tatreez dress, and I need to fit into it for the town picnic.
Sasquatch nodded sympathetically. She knew all about projects not going the way you planned. I know it's frustrating when things don't work out the way you hoped or planned for. But between us, that's how most of my best creations were made. Nura looked up.
For real?
Our creative juices sometimes flow the best when we're in a pickle. You can quote me on that. Nura swung back and forth as she thought about Sasquatch's words. Besides, your grandparents are some of the most creative and resilient people I've met in my years in the forest.
You know Sido and Teta?
Where else would a Sasquatch get her falafel and mamoul fix? Trust me, Nura. This same creativity and resilience you see in them, it lives in you. And with that, Sasquatch stomped away. Nura's heart thumped like it was part of the jumping and stomping routine of a Debke dance she enjoyed in family weddings and festivities. Maybe Sasquatch was right. Maybe she could figure out a solution. One that didn't involve any human shrinking potions. Suddenly, the swing started to slowly twist as the 2 ropes coiled around each other. Then, with a sudden lurch, the 2 ropes unfurled and Nura was thrown into a dizzying spin.
Whoa!
round and round, as the forest around her became a whirlwind of shapes and colors. Nura squealed into light, but then held her breath as the blurry streaks of color started to form familiar shapes. Wait, was that Sito as a little boy? She watched him planting fruit trees in an orchard with his baba and his Sito. Then, as a young man planting small trees outside of a tent. The colors streaked and blurred again, and then he became the Sito she knew, with his popcorn-colored beard, planting new trees. Freshwater varieties in his new home here, with his own little boy. She saw him struggling to learn a new language and new skills in a new town. Nura's heart filled with awe. Wherever Sito was, he was always working, planting, and setting roots for his family. Another whirl of color made Nura gasp and smile big as she saw Teta as a little girl stitching happily in the warmth of the village women's circle. Nura's smile faltered when the colors swirled again to reveal a changed Teta. Older now, empty-handed, only Sito by her side as she first arrived in Freshwater. She saw her finding scraps of material, any type of thread, to weave and sell familiar patterns that told the story of her past. Nura's heart fluttered and pumped happiness all the way to her fingertips and toes as she watched Teta's smile growing wider, along with her circle of friends. And then, as quickly as it began, the swing stopped moving. Nura clutched the rope and steadied her breath. All that sadness about her dress was gone, replaced with wonder, curiosity, and joy. The still swing must have sensed that, and in response began to rock back and forth, then forward and backwards, higher and higher and higher. Nura burst into laughter. It was true. Nura's grandparents were creative and resilient. Wherever they were in the world, they made magic happen in the most unlikely ways. Running out of ingredients never stopped Teta from creating delicious spreads for their guests, and Sito was always having to tweak the menu to keep his business successful. Sometimes a new recipe would fail, but he would keep on experimenting. Teta and Sito didn't have the words "give up" in their vocabulary. Maybe she shouldn't either. The swing slowed to a sudden stop as Nura hopped off and headed home with new pep in her step. In her room, Nura spread her dress on the bed. She traced her fingers over the embroidered border of pizza slices. Teta even added sliced green olives, her favorite topping. Her eyes danced over the sprinkled popcorn kernels, the icy crunch of watermelon-shaped popsicles, and all her magical friends. She didn't want to give up any of them. Maybe she didn't have to. Nura grinned. She knew just the way to make her own magic. If Nura's idea was going to work, she would need hands to help. She packed her Tatreez dress and ran to Teta's community center, where she found Teta sitting with her friends.
Here she is! Are you here for some tea and ma'moul?
Nura's stomach grumbled, but Mamoul had to wait.
Not today, Teta. I'm here on business. I need to hire help for a major sewing project.
Nura pulled out a small wooden box, which she opened to reveal her lifelong savings from Sito's shawarma tip jar. She had earned every last one of those coins. Curious now, Teta and her friends put their teacups down and listened attentively as Nura shared her creative vision for her Tatreez dress. The project took the entire rest of Saturday to complete. Sito sent shawarma wraps over in time for dinner. Nura helped every step of the way. There were many laughs shared, cups of tea refilled, and countless mamoul cookies to keep them going as they cut, shaped, and sewed the fabric. And by the end, when Nura tried on the finished product, everything fit perfectly. The next day, the whole town gathered for the monthly picnic to welcome Freshwater's new immigrant families, who had come from all over the globe. Many had children Nura's age. She couldn't wait to make new friends, taste new recipes, and play new games. As Princess Cordelia delivered her warm welcome speech, Nura stood in her important spot on stage, next to all the housewarming baskets. Many families in town had contributed to the baskets with something homemade or a heartfelt written note to make the families feel loved and welcomed into their freshwater community. Nura could see Teta and her friends beaming at her in the crowd, and she beamed right back. She may not be wearing her dress in the way she originally imagined, but this was even better. Teta and her friends and Nura had given the dress a second chance, just like Nura's grandparents were given a second chance when they moved to Freshwater. The skilled sewing team had turned part of her dress into a Tatreez headband for Nura to wear over her long wavy brown hair, and 2 Tatreez bracelets around her arms. Best of all was the Tatreez cape that fluttered behind her, dancing with the wind. But that wasn't all. The team had turned the leftover pieces of Tatreez into little gorgeous keychains that Nura slipped into every one of the baskets. She had shared one of her most treasured things with the new families. Nura watched the new families in town receive their welcome baskets to the smiles, claps, and cheers of Freshwater families who gathered to welcome them. Nura couldn't count all the smiles floating around if she tried to. She felt like a freshwater magical superhero, cape fluttering and all. She made a mental note to deliver a box of mamoul to Sasquatch next time she visited the forest. Palestinian immigrants arrived in the United States in waves, starting in the late 1800s, in 1948 and 1967, following their persecution and ongoing displacement from their ancestral land. Palestinian immigrants, like Nura's grandparents, quickly adapted to their new environment. They shone as entrepreneurs, starting with small family-owned businesses that grew in size and success, and deeply valued education as their children excelled in medicine, STEM, politics, and academia. Preserving their strong hospitality values, Palestinian Americans opened their homes and hearts to their community, always ready to create a spread of Palestinian cuisine for last-minute guests. Shawarma and falafel street vendors made these Palestinian culinary staples popular in many American cities. Palestinian Americans celebrate their art in the form of folklore songs, debke dances, and the dazzling handsome embroidery called Tatreez, worn by Palestinian women worldwide and featured in Nura's story. That was Nura's Magical Tatreez, written by Mariam Al-Husseini, performed by Emily Rose Debini, Addie Nofal, and Rebecca Cunningham, produced by Tessa Flannery, executive produced by Megan Bagala. Thanks for a wonderful Season 8, Tailblazers. We'll see you next season.
Grownups, thanks for listening to Girl Tales with your Tailblazers. Before you go, here are some questions to help keep the conversation going with your child. What part of today's story did you enjoy the most, and why? Did you connect with a character in this story? Did you learn something new? How did you feel about this story? Did it remind you of something in your own life? We hope this sparks some fun and meaningful conversations. Girl Tales is a Cordelia Studios production. Grownups, you can get access to ad-free episodes of Girl Tales, as well as a range of other shows for the kids in your life by subscribing to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to hear me narrate the original stories of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, head to patreon.com/girltales and join Team Sunnybrook or above. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you loved this story, share it with a friend. Oh, and remember, I believe in you.
There's a hill and a road and a path where I know you must go. Through the sun, wind, rain, or snow, but wherever and always come home. 'Cause I trust your heart, I trust my heart, and I trust your mind, I trust my mind, and I trust the friends, I trust the friends. I know you will find o'er the hill and on the road, so off you go. And remember, I believe